Hello, everybody. This is a presentation to tell you what mistakes you should avoid while preparing for UPSC Civil Service Examination. I am Artika Shukla. I am ranked 4 in the recent examination. I am a doctor by profession, and you can follow me over this link. So, what are the things that you should avoid? We all know what we should do, but kya avoid karna hai, that becomes a problem, especially when you come closer to the exam. So, this is a very short presentation to help you deal with that. First thing, choosing a wrong optional subject. This I think is very important because you have a lot of guides. आपको लोग आते जाते बहुत सारे suggestions देते जाते हैं about the optional subject, but I really believe, and in your self interest I would say, that you should only choose an optional subject which you are comfortable in, which you have preferably done your graduation in, क्योंकि उससे आपको बहुत knowledge मिल जाती है, and something that you enjoy reading, because optional is a place where you will have to give in all your effort. So you must choose an optional which you enjoy reading, which is something that you like, and not something which is selling this year or which is getting very good marks. The next mistake is not checking previous year's papers. Now, this is extremely important for prelims. मैंने पहले भी बहुत सारी जगहों पे एक बात कही है कि if you just follow previous year's papers and a lot of test papers, for mainly for prelims, also for mains, maybe not so relevant except in case of optionals, very relevant in case of optionals. मेरा मेडिकल साइंस ऑप्शनल था, उसमें पिछले साल के पेपर से more than 50% questions were repeated. So it is a big mistake if you don't check your previous year's papers, especially for prelims, where it will help in your time management. Questions may not be repeated, but it will definitely boost your confidence. And in mains, questions will be repeated in optionals, at least in some optionals. So you must check previous year's papers. The third question, the third thing that you must avoid is purchasing too many books and making a library at home. ये एक बहुत ही जनरल बात है जिसको आई थिंक हर कोई ये गलती करता है इस एग्ज़ाम के प्रिपरेशन में. बट आई वुड जस्ट लाइक यू टू नो दैट एज अ सीनियर आई कैन टेल यू दिस: please don't buy more than 2 books on any subject. Please revise what you have read instead of going for more and more newer sources to read it from. बिकॉज आप जितना वो करेंगे आपका रिटेंशन उतना कम होता जाएगा. सो प्लीज़ रिवाइज द स्टैटिक कंटेंट इवन इन केस ऑफ ऑप्शनल्स. डू नॉट गो फॉर मोर देन 2 or 3 books for any one particular thing. The exam is not so much about depth as it is about your basic understanding of stuff. So please try to be very concise and precise about these examination. The next mistake that you can do is lack of constructive group study. Now, this is something which I can vouch for very theoretically, but group study कई बार बहुत गड़बड़ हो जाती है, स्पेशली इस स्टेज में जब हर कोई अलग अलग चीज़ें पढ़ रहा होता है. सो पीपल टेंड टू गेट इन्वॉल्व इन अदर डिस्कशंस. आपका टाइम बहुत सारा वेस्ट हो जाता है. बट देर आर ऑल्सो पॉजिटिव्स ऑफ ग्रुप स्टडी, विच इज़ दैट यू कैन try and have a very good intellectual conversation among people you trust who are preparing for the examination. आप अपने दोस्तों के साथ बैठ के अगर थोड़ी जीएस की तैयारी में स्पेशली ग्रुप में बातें करें तो योर पर्सपेक्टिव वाइडेंस, एंड द एग्जाम वांट्स योर पर्सपेक्टिव टू बी वाइडेंड. आप बहुत ही सेट माइंडसेट लेके एग्जाम में आंसर्स नहीं लिख सकते. सो देर इज़ अ वेरी वेल प्लेस नीड फॉर अ कंस्ट्रक्टिव ग्रुप स्टडी. इफ़ यू do find a very good intellectual hardworking group, you're lucky. If you don't find it, nothing to worry. हम next mistake पे चलते हैं. Non-interaction with seniors. Now, this is something I personally feel really benefited me because I was always in touch with my brother, who's also a senior in service. So, you should, if possible, be in touch with a senior who can guide you in this examination. If you want to stay in touch with me, you can stay in touch with me. Someone in your family, a person you trust, that is very important because the exam demands a lot of courage and resilience in addition to knowledge. और इसमें आपको सीनियर्स बहुत हेल्प कर सकते हैं. वो आपकी एंग्जाइटी कम कर सकते हैं, वो आपको सही डायरेक्शन में गाइड कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज़ वन थिंग दैट यू मस्ट डू. The next thing is reading the complete newspaper, one big problem. Why? Because the newspaper has many things which is not relevant to the examination. The sports page is not relevant. The local news is not relevant. Any tidbits, any celebrity gossips, those are not relevant at all. So please don't waste a lot of time on reading the newspaper. It is essential, of course. बट आप ऐसे पढ़ें कि वो 1-1.5 घंटे में आपका ख़त्म हो जाए, एटलीस्ट एट द एंड ऑफ योर प्रिपरेशन. शुरुआत में तो बहुत टाइम लगेगा, but try to sieve out the important information which corresponds with your main syllabus, and work on that. The next mistake, non-evaluation by regular tests. If there is one thing I can tell you, it is that please give regular tests. It is very important, extremely essential for getting through prelims, and more than extremely essential for getting through mains. Also, both for your optional and GS. GS में तो the more than 60% of your preparation lies on giving tests. Do not skip giving tests after prelims. At least give 10 tests before prelims. से अगर आपने start किए तो कुछ 12, 15, 16 tests ज़रूर दें, because the exam is about expression. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you can't express it well in the required time frame, you will not score well. So please, if you have to do one thing, if you have to invest in one thing, please invest in a good test series and give tests, as many as you can. The last thing is lack of revision. Lack of revision is obvious. आपने रिवाइज नहीं करा तो आपको हिस्ट्री जोग्राफी याद नहीं रहेगी. आपने रिवाइज नहीं करा तो आपको सारे बिल्स याद नहीं रहेंगे. आपको अपना ऑप्शनल भूल जाएगा. So revision is very important. Again, instead of buying too many books, getting too much knowledge about stuff, revise what you have done. It will help you immensely. And the last thing is usage of social media during preparation. I have a very biased view over this because I didn't use the social media at all. I stayed away from Facebook. I used WhatsApp very sparingly. But you can use it. I'm not saying you should not, but try to maintain a limit on the amount of time and the amount of emotions and brain that you invest on it. So social media, if you want to use it for constructive purposes. Use it also as a distraction if you want to, but do not get swayed by it. This time is very important. It will not come again in life. So please don't waste time over frivolous issues or something flimsy over the social media, over your reputation or something. So that's all from my side, and I hope you avoid these mistakes and do every right thing in the book and get through with flying colors. My best wishes to all of you. God bless you. Thank you.